think of what I learned the first time. Hello! So my name is Richie, and in case you have no idea who I am right now, I'm a singer-songwriter slash YouTuber who goes under the name Social Repose. And you can find my YouTube channel here, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Tweetskis. Just kidding, Twitter's dumb. And pretty much if you type Social Repose in any social media, you'll probably eventually find me. So I got a call from Brian the other day, and he was like, "Hey, yo girl, you wanna make a video for MDE?" And I was like, "Oh my god, Brian, for reals?" And he was like, "Yeah, baby girl, you know I treat you right." And then I was like, "Love you, babe." And so here I am. So it's Music Week on My Digital Escape, and I thought I would make a list for you guys of my favorite artists. Alright, maybe I made a couple lists, but hopefully I can share with you some totally cool music that you haven't heard before. Let's begin. Alright, so let's get all the super obvious bands out of the way first. A few years ago, when I was a little itty bitty caterpie and I hadn't quite yet blossomed into a heartless butterfly, there was this band called My Chemical Romance, and they'd kind of taken over MTV and VH1 for a good couple years back when those channels were popular. And the first time I ever heard MCR was the Helena music video, and it really struck me kind of how different it was. Clearly everyone else thought that too. As some of you probably already know, they helped shape the music scene that we all love so much today, even if they're gone. Also, Gerard's like a professional sass machine, which I love. The next band was also a super easy pick, All Time Low. Now what I like about these guys so much is that they've remained so consistent over the years, even from their first EP, which they released I think in like high school when they were like 16 or 17, all the way up until their major label signing, and after that they've just remained really, really solid. I might be a tiny bit biased because they live about 30 minutes away from me, but their live shows are awesome. So definitely check them out if you've been living under a rock. Moving on. The next band is Bring Me the Horizon, or Alright, that never really caught on, but Bring Me the Horizon. A band that made neck tattoos cool again. They've changed their sound so much over the years, and they're always experimenting, and it's always really interesting stuff. At the very least, what they put out is interesting. Sometimes it's a teeny bit hit or miss, but most of the time I love it. Mainly what solidified my hardcore fandom towards was their third album. Besides its kind of unnecessarily long name, the album had a really nice mix of like melodic sad songs and metalcore binary breakdowns. And to kind of segue into my next artist, Lights was featured on 2 of the tracks on that album. Now Lights is incredibly talented, gorgeous, and has an incredibly unique voice. And I totally don't have a giant crush on her. Stop staring at me. Alright, I know she's married to Bo, but like you can't crush my dreams that easily. Just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score. Yeah, I'm a horrible person. And next band. So this band dramatically helped sculpt my music taste. Death Cab for Cutie. You know, because sometimes it feels nice to take a field trip on the field train to feel some feels, you know what I'm saying? And Death Cab is all about the feels. Most of it is really sad, introspective, kind of breakup music. I've always had trouble explaining to people why I enjoy slow, depressing music so much. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you listen to enough depressing music, it kind of makes me happy, and I feel like I'm not alone on that. It's kind of like a beautiful sadness, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, too deep. Bye, Felicia. Another sad but more upbeat indie band I just found out about is 21 Pilots. Yeah, I know they blew up like 2 years ago and I'm really late for the party, but like, they're really good. They're a prime example of me totally writing off a band because I just didn't think they looked all that interesting, and I didn't really give them a chance until I was just kind of scrolling through YouTube. I clicked on a couple of their music videos, and man, very rarely on the first listening of a new band do I absolutely fall in love with them. They're just really different. First of all, there's only 2 guys in the band. They kind of have this like electronic EDM thing going on, but the dude also raps, but it's like not bad. It's kind of like a mix of spoken word poetry and rap, and it works out really well. I really couldn't make a list of my favorite artists without including Owl City or Adam Young and any of his side projects. Pretty much any music that man makes, I fall in love with. Oh my god, is that the guy that sings Fireflies? Yeah, I know he's kind of a one-hit wonder with Fireflies, but he's produced hundreds of songs. His first couple albums kind of opened the door for the whole synth pop thing to happen in the late 2000s. Alright, so my next artist is a indie singer-songwriter who goes by Imogen Heap, which is actually her real name, which is kind of cool. You've probably heard of her from her song Hide and Seek, which is like a vocoder, auto-tuned a cappella, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Where are we? Like, once again, she makes other really good music. She spends years on albums, and when they come out, it's just like eargasms. Uncontrollable eargasms. Also, unlike Lights, I think she's not married, so This next band, I'm sure you all know really super duper well, Pierce the Veil, Penis the Vagina. They're kind of another band where I was super late to the hype train. I sort of wrote them off for a long time because Vic's vocals are so freaking high, and on first listen, it just really wasn't my thing. Last summer, I decided to kind of sit down and cover a couple of their songs, see what they're all about. And their lyrics are really good. When I found out when their lyrics were actually meaningful and Vic had a lot of good things to say, it kind of made it a lot easier to like them. So now I'm actually a pretty big fan of theirs. And last but most definitely not least, anything by Ronnie Radke. This includes Old Escape the Fate, Falling in Reverse, and his silly mixtape that everyone hated but secretly listened to. Don't lie to me. I think there's a lot of different reasons why Ronnie Radke has kind of always been on the top of the scene pretty much since he stepped into it in like 2006. He's got a super unique voice, his personality is potent, and in the same vein as Bring Me the Horizon, he's kind of always looking to change things up. He's kind of a true artist in that sense. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on Ronnie Radke, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. Those are all the bands I put on my top artist list. I know I missed a lot, and I'm sorry in advance. But I'd love to know who your favorite bands are. Maybe it's somebody I haven't heard of. You can just leave those in the comments below, okay? I'd just like to give a huge thank you to everyone at MDE for giving me a feature on their new channel. And if you're at all interested in what I'm doing, again, here's my YouTube channel, and all my other stuff should be in the description below.